Now in this session we will be discussing about array initializers, object initializers, what are function expressions, what are properties, how to access the properties, and invocation expressions. So we will start with initializers. Basically, object and array initializers are the expression whose value is a newly created object or array. So an expression in JavaScript which creates an array or which creates an object is called as initializer. Okay, so array initializer is generally a comma separated list of expressions contained within square brackets. The value of this is the newly created array. You can initialize the elements to the values, or you can also have an empty array. So if I am using this two square brackets as an array initializer, it will just create an empty array, that is no expression inside bracket, means there are no elements in the array. If I want an array of two elements, then I can have the elements as expressions. So here in this second example, an array is being created having two elements. First is an expression 1 plus 2, second is an expression 3 plus 4. So this will create an array having two elements as 3 and 7. Okay. Similarly, element expressions can themselves be array initializers. So I can have a declaration like this also, where matrix is equal to, now here matrix is an array, it is containing again three elements, but those three elements are again arrays. So it is an array within an array. Okay, so this type of declaration or array initialization is also possible in JavaScript. It is also possible to keep some elements as undefined. Okay, now how to keep those elements as undefined? You can make use of an array where you have initialized the first element and the last element, and in between you are only adding the commas. So this tells the browser that this is an array having only the first element as 1, last element as 5, and in between there are 3 empty elements. Okay, so this is how you can initialize an array. So let me just show you an example over here. You can initialize, that is declare an array and initialize it like this. First way is var array is equal to empty. This will create an empty array. Second is I can have an array having elements, for example 1, 2, 3. This is a valid expression. Third, I can have an array consisting of expressions like 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2, comma 3 plus 4, okay, comma 6 into 2. So here I have initialized an array which will have the elements which are computed using expressions. Similarly, I can also have an initialization like this where my each sub element is another array. So I will have 1, 2, 3, comma second element is next array, suppose 3, 4, 5. Third element is another array like 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I can have array within an array. And next is I can have some of the elements as empty if I don't want to declare them, like 1, 3. Suppose next two elements or next three elements are empty and I enter a 5. So these are the different ways in which you can initialize your arrays, and they are called as array initializers. Okay, so this was about array initializers. Similarly, we have object initializer. Object initializer are also like array initializer, but only thing is that instead of square brackets, for an object initializer you make use of the curly brackets. Okay, and each sub expression is prefixed with a property name and a colon. So here you can see I have created an object. Name of the object is P. This object is having two properties, which are then X and Y. X property is having a value as 2.3 and Y property is having a value as minus 1.2. Okay, I have created another object called as Q, which is currently empty. But after creating this object, I can add property to it using the dot operator, like q dot x is equal to 2.3 and q dot y is equal to minus 1.2. Now here q has the same properties as p. Okay. Object literals can also be nested. Like we had array within an array. Similarly, if I'm having a object as rectangle, inside that I can have another object as a property. So for this rectangle object, upper left is a object. It's a property for it, but it's an object. And for the upper left, it has two properties, x and y. Okay. Similarly, second property of rectangle is lower right, and this is another object having two properties, x as 4 and y as 5. So this is how you can initialize objects, and that expressions are called as object initializers. Okay. So this was about array initializers and object initializers. Now suppose I want to create an object over here. How can I do that? So this was about array initializers and object initializers. Suppose I want to create an object called as person. Then I can create this object as person. I can give them properties like roll number, colon, value of roll number will be 10, comma, second property is name, value of name will be, say for example, ABC. Third property can be phone number. Third property can be a phone number. Okay. Third property can be a phone number, which can be, suppose, some number. Okay. So here I have created a object called as person, and I have given it three properties as roll number, name and phone number. Okay. So this is how you can create an object. Or another way is I can create an empty object like this, and then I can assign properties to it. So how do I assign properties to it? Person is my object name, dot which property I want to add. Say for example EMPID, and that is equal to, you can assign a value to it. Okay, 101. Similarly, person dot name is equal to ABC, person dot phone is equal to some number. So these are the two most popular ways in which you can create your objects and initialize them. Okay, so this was about the object and array initializers. Next is function expression. Now what is function expression? Like you can write an expression for object initialization or an array initialization. Similarly, you can write down an expression for a function. That is called as a function expression. So it is basically an assignment of a function value to a variable. Now let us see it, how it can be done. For example, if I am having var a is equal to function. Now a function is the keyword which is used for writing a function in JavaScript. But now you can see here I have not given any name to this function. But what this function is doing is it is returning 3. So what will happen over here? This function will return 3, and that expression 3 will be stored in my variable a. Okay. Second is I can also give a name to the function. And third one is self-invoking function. I am writing a function, and inside that itself I am writing another function. So such kind of function means here my function starts. I have written this function till here, and after that I have given these two brackets. So these two brackets means a function call. So you are self-invoking the function. You are not calling it from somewhere else. You are invoking that function from within itself. So such kind of function expressions are called as self-invoking function expression. So this was about function expression, which are of three types, that is anonymous function expression where we don't give a name to the function. Second one is named function expression where I can give a name to the function. And third one is self-invoking function expression where you, after writing the function, you are directly calling it over there itself. This is called as function expressions in JavaScript. Next we come to a very important topic, that is JavaScript properties. Now what are properties? They are the values which are associated with a JavaScript object. A JavaScript object, we have seen, is nothing but a collection of unordered properties. That is, like in array we have an order. The elements are at location 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. So object is not like that. You have an object, those objects have properties and they are not having any index, you directly access that property with the help of its name. Okay, so properties can be changed, they can be added, they can be deleted, and some can be read only also. So the properties which are read only, you cannot change them. Now how do you access the properties? The syntax for accessing the property of an object is dot syntax or square bracket syntax. So if I want to access the age of a person, the way in which I can do it is object name dot property. For example, person dot age. So person is my object, age is its property, and this statement or this expression will return me the age of the person. Second is object name in double quotes whatever your property name is. So person in double quotes age will also return me the age of the person. Third one is object name into square bracket and expression. So if I say or if I store the age variable in x, and if I pass this x to this person object, then also it will be returning me the property of age. So this is how you can access the property of an object. So person dot first name will return me person first name. It will be concatenated with this. Then person dot age will return the age of the person, and it will also return me how many years old. Okay, so this is how you can access the properties of a JavaScript. Let us try and check how this works. Okay, so I'll create a HTML file. First let me save the file. Go to file, save as, object.html. okay, object.html. okay, so now we can start with our coding. Okay, so let us give a title to this as object and properties. Now I'll go to the body part, or yeah, we'll go to the body part. Script language is equal to JavaScript / script. So this is our script tag. You can either give language equals to JavaScript as we had given, or you can also give type equals to text / JavaScript. Okay. Now in this, let us create the object person. So var person. In this, we will add two properties, age 10, comma name, say ABC. Okay. Now I want to print the message, so I'll write document.write person.name, which will return the name of the person, plus I'll write the word is, plus I want the age. So person.age will return me the age of the person, plus I will attach a message, years old. So I should get a message like ABC is 10 years old. Okay, let us save this. Let us open this file in the browser and check whether we are getting the correct output or not. Okay, so I have opened it with Chrome and I can check the message as ABC is 10 years old. The 10 and years is concatenated, so if you want to change it, you just need to give a space over here. save this and refresh your page. So now you can see that how we have used an object, how we have set its properties, and how we have used those properties for displaying the output. Okay, so this was about how to access and set the JavaScript properties. Okay, so this is how you can also add the properties in a variable. Now see, this is an example of accessing the properties. I have created a person object over here. It is having three properties: first name as John, last name as Doe, and age as 25. And for each x in person. So what is this happening over here? X is a variable which will be corresponding to the property in the object person. And what it will do is, it will just access every property and concatenate it in a variable called as txt. Now let us check this example as well. We will modify this example. So we have already taken age, name. Let us take one more field or property as phone number, and let us set that phone number to some random value. Now you can make use of for loop to iterate through the properties. So I can have for x in person. That means for each property in person, I will take a variable called as txt, and to it I will concatenate each of the properties, and after property I will add a space. Okay, so that those properties will not be stick to each other. Now let us check the output of this. Okay, so the output, if it does not come, go to inspect. It will show you where the error is. You have an unexpected token at the file line number 12. So this is my line number 12 plus equal to, maybe this is the problem. So let us save and check. Txt is not defined. Okay, so let us first define where txt. Okay, still we are not getting it. Because we haven't done document dot write. Okay, so document, once we have concatenated everything, once we come out of the for loop, I will just print the variable. Okay, so save it, execute it. So you can see age, name, phone. These are the three properties of that particular object. So in this way you can access the properties. If you want value also, then in that case you will have to concatenate it with person and x. Okay, so let us see if this gives us the expected output. Yes, so you can see here age 10, name ABC, phone number. If you want it on a separate line, just concatenate it with /n. Through JavaScript you can make use of /n or /t, but it will not work like you have your HTML. So better use BR tag. One more thing, ki when you are in JavaScript and you want to display something from HTML, like here we are in JavaScript, but I want to give a break which is a part of HTML, then that tags can be included in your JavaScript in double quotes. Okay, so you can write HTML in JavaScript within double quotes. Okay, so let us see now. Okay, now it has given a break and you can see every output is coming on a separate line. So this is the basic about how you can access the properties, property names, property values using a for loop as well. You can add new properties to an existing object by simply giving it a value. So to add a property, the only thing you need to do is name of the object dot whatever property you want to add is equal to whatever value you want to give to that property. Okay, so this is how you can add properties. If you want to delete a property, then the word which is used, keyword which is used is delete. So it deletes a property from the object. It deletes the value also and the property also. After deletion, property cannot be used until and unless you add it again. Okay, so delete operator is used on the object properties. It does not have any effect on variables or functions. So if you try to write delete name of a variable, it will not delete that variable. If you write delete some name of a function, it will not going to delete the function. The delete operator can only delete the JavaScript properties. Also, there are some inbuilt objects of JavaScript which we will be studying in later sessions. One more property is that using delete keyword you cannot delete the properties of those JavaScript inbuilt object. Okay, it will crash your application. So never do that. You can only delete the properties of objects that have been created by you. For example, now here let us delete person dot phone. Okay, and then we will again have this for loop, and we will again print the text. Okay, so I will copy this for loop. I have deleted the phone number now, and we will print it once again. Okay, now first time it must show all the three properties, that is age, name and phone number. Here we have deleted phone number, so in the next for loop I should get the output as only the age and the name. But to do that I will again have to make text as empty before adding the properties for the second time. Okay, now let us check. See, you can see the first for loop gives me all the three properties. Then I have deleted the phone property, and then I am again getting two properties, age and name. Phone has been deleted. Okay, so this is how you can delete the properties from your JavaScript object.